HCS Anaheim is presented by AMD, Astro Gaming, the Marines, Zowie, and Xbox Plays.
Getting a little bit rowdy here because this is the biggest of matches. Yeah. A big match feel about this one, Andy. You've got Cloud9 and you have got Sentinels. And not only are we going to learn a lot about either of these teams, both of these teams, but as the tournament as a whole, we are going to learn so much from one series.
This really is the table setter that you do not expect on a Friday evening in a 3-day major tournament. You're going to learn a lot, not only a lot about these teams, but also about North American Halo. Where are we at? These two teams pushing the boundaries of what it means to be one of the best teams in the world. Right now, C9 has that throne. Here is Sentinels. You've heard them say it many times. This day is the start of their season. They have their full squad back together for the first time in LAN in many years. Game number 1, Aquarius CTF.
No messing about anymore. We're ready to get into our first game. I have been looking forward to this series all day, and I'm sure every single person who is sat at home right now in front of your monitor, TV, tablet, whatever it might be, is just as excited. Aquarius capture the flag is where we start things off. It's Cloud9 versus Sentinels.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold your horses. Not
By the way,
yet.
I just want to say that I nailed that intro.
You really did.
That was really good.
You really
but
did.
Unfortunately, we've got to start again. Sorry, everyone. Let me see if I can repeat it almost word for word.
I think you can. I was ready to get into it. Everyone at home was ready to get into it, but it sounds like we did have a player drop right at the beginning of the game before the game started. So it will be a false start. We'll be getting into Aquarius CTF in just a moment, but gives us a chance to talk about historical record on this game type. These two teams have only played this game type in the Pro Series once. It was a C9 win. We'll have to see if they can repeat here, but to be honest, it gives us a hope for Sentinels. Not a lot of game data to go off of, and now with a full roster, they might have a chance to steal that game back.
Yeah, it's very, very true as well. It also gives us a couple of seconds to highlight some of the players we're certainly going to be keeping our eye on during this series. Understandably, for Sentinels, I think a lot of eyes are going to be on Royal 2, right? What is he going to bring to this lineup? Is he the missing piece that's going to propel them to be able to push Cloud9 to the limit? Because I just want to put it on the record here. Cloud9 are, without doubt, favorites for me in this series. You don't win not only one LAN and back-to-back online tournaments, which is a huge achievement for Cloud9 in itself, without earning the right to call yourselves the favorites, the number 1, right? For Sentinels, this is kind of a, where are we in comparison? And if they can push them all the way, I think it says a lot.
It absolutely does here. Now we're going to get right back into this once again. Welcome to game number 1. As Onset said, this is not the series you expect on a Friday evening. This is pool play due to some crazy seeds coming in here. You have 2 of the best teams in North America finding themselves in the same pool. It's your 1st seed and your 8th seed.
You could not have more respect between the 2 teams either. I think the fact that Cloud9 are happy to say there's a reason that we don't want to play against Sentinels, we don't want to give them the practices because they know how good they can be. This is the real one, ladies and gents. This is live, game number 1 of the series.
Here we go. I have to see exactly who gets the opening first. No kills in just yet, so a little bit of an interesting opening. Looks like Royal 2 will get the first one.
Lethal picks up one as well. Snakebite gets taken down by Renegade. So 2v2 could not be a more even start if you asked for it. Let's see where that camo ends up, though. It looks like Renegade's pushing across top middle. As Royal 2 managed to snag it away, he's going to get taken down. It looks like, from what I can see, it might well have been a burn off the rip.
Yeah, based on what we're seeing, I agree. It looks like it might have been a burn, so we'll have to see. Eco's already got some ideas in the back of the base.
2 dead here for Sentinels. That was 3 dead momentarily as well as Eco picks up the kill onto Frosty. And almost in the first few moments of this game, it feels after that initial skirmish went down, it's Cloud9 who are trying to get that objective moving.
And they are doing it very quickly, very efficiently. Renegade tries to dipsy doodle and dance up top. He'll get taken down in the 1v2.
3 dead though. Penguin is last alive. Is he going to try and force this flag in? It looks like he might do. Penguin is going to manage to actually get that almost home. Snakebite has to make the play. And now Sentinels have to make a defensive play because these Snakebite is on that flag. C9 get a touch.
Yeah, flag is pulled as well. So this flag is out. We'll have to see if they get the re. Stellar gets a touch as well. So if that re comes in up front, should be right now. The flag goes in. C9 scores within the first minute 20.
C9 strike first. No defensive stand to come in that time from Sentinels. It was Cloud9, and I've got to give a huge shout out to Penguin as we see Stellar pick up that kill for the way that he played that situation almost to the team.
Absolutely fantastic. Also great shots from Frosty. Also do want to highlight the one time these two teams played this game type. We saw some great team shots coming in from the side of C9. Big assists, heavily outshooting their opponents in terms of team shots. What we need to see from Sentinels is really a little bit more team shots, more assists on the board in this game type.
Yeah, I think the one great thing for Cloud9 here on the other side of that is how objectively efficient they've been. One flag pulled, one flag capped. If you do that 5 times, you win the game. It's as simple as that, but Royal 2 is going to make Stellar put his mind into the respawn screen for a few seconds. He did have that heat wave, but Royal 2 not missing too many shots. Frosty picks up another. Now a chance for Cloud9 to have to play defensive as Sentinels have some map control.
Look how fast Eco plays, even against the heat wave there of Royal 2, just able to fly in right away, beat the heat wave there in the melee battle. Eco picks up another one, though. 3 dead there for the side of C9.
Look at Renegade as well, just flying forward onto Lethal. A lot of time, you will see players maybe just let those spawns come in on the fridge, but C9 collapse almost immediately. Renegade will be taken down. Stellar, though, once again behind enemy lines, just being a nuisance inside a utility here.
Yeah, look at the nades, too, on the stairs. He knows exactly what he's doing. Even takes the Lethal battle as well. And that's a bold one. This is confidence coming out of C9 without a doubt.
I mean, the amount of defensive plays that Sentinels have had to make already in this game tells you a lot about the pressure that C9 have had on the map. 2 dead here for Cloud9, but even from this point of view of Lethal here, you can see with 2 dead, he's not even past the 50-yard mark yet. Snakebite has managed to get into a position inside of the courtyard, at least to maybe capitalize on some of the damage that will be done. There's the first kill. Lethal gets a trade as well. That's 2 dead for C9 once more. Sentinels in charge of the middle map now.
Renegade and Eco both popping off already, 8 and 4, 8 and 5, respectively. We'll have to see if they can make this one go all the way home.
Snakebite picks up a double, takes down Penguin and Renegade. Now, where is that flag? And is anyone in position here for Sentinels to get it moving? It looks like at the moment, no is the answer. Heat wave in the hands of Royal 2, though, as he's set up top middle. Penguin might be taken down. The flag's still out. That was 3 dead here for C9. The flag will go back home, though. So it's now time to reset the map. Kills inside the base here. The priority for Sentinels.
Royal 2 knows there might be back at base spawners as well. Gosh, that Dynamo hit hard. And it's a great play there down low. That's going to be 3 dead once again for Sentinels.
Yes, defensive play from C9. And Sentinels really didn't make the most of that opportunity, I would say, to get that flag moving, to move across the map as quickly as they would have wanted to. Maybe just a little bit of a misstep there.
Absolutely. Once again, if you're just joining us here, this is C9 Sentinels. Don't adjust your television screens. It's one of the biggest series of the weekend already here. These two teams, finding themselves in the same group. 1-0 right now in favor of Cloud9. This is game number 1.
Yeah, Penguin managed to pick up the camouflage as well. Eco with the heat wave and the flag moving. C9 set up perfectly here. Dynamo's being shut down. P1. Snakebite's going to be ticking. Penguin's going to be there to clean up some kills as well. And this is going to be the second flag going in here for Cloud9. Nobody there to stop it for Sentinels. It's 2-0.
Nice little camo work here. More kills bottom mid as well for Penguin. They're not done yet. Still 3 dead for the side of Sentinels. They're going to try to find those fresh spawners. First one out, it's going to be Lethal.
Penguin in front of the base trying to keep that pressure on. There's the help coming in from Renegade. Now Snakebite's trying to clean up the kill on Penguin, but look at him slipping and sliding, living up to his name here and managing to get inside a utility as Eco not only picks up a perfect, but another medal with that killing spree to boot.
Yeah, not too bad. Doing well for himself. Got to say, these players are not just sliding away. They're sliding and mid-slide, strong sliding away, turning themselves away. And once, as again, we said, just min-maxing every single little mechanic in this game. And it's, as Ola said earlier, this is really a different game than we saw a few months ago.
Look at Royal 2's stats. We kind of highlighted Royal 2 and what impact he has to be here for Sentinels. Struggling right now, 4 and 10 in this game. Not the stats you would expect to see from Royal 2 as Cloud9 have that flag moving once again. And I tell you what, Penguin ain't missing too many shots here.
It's the confidence out of Cloud9. You can see on every single POV when we cut to their screens, they are not backing down from fights and they are hitting their shots without a doubt.
Frosty going to be challenging Penguin, but Penguin does not miss in this series so far. Another kill coming in for him, but with that kill, Sentinels actually managed to get some numbers back in their advantage. Lethal inside a utility, and at the moment for Sentinels, you have to say, this is kind of nosebleed territory. It's the first time they've really got past 50 yards for quite some time.
Yeah, it's great plays from Lethal here. This is what you expect to see all game long. Might even pick up another one. No, he dies from that 1v2, but good signs of life coming in. It looks like, if I'm not mistaken, though, a little bit of a reset maybe coming in here. You see players slowing down. That will be 2 flags on the board, and it looks like we'll have to hear from admins and league operations, as it looks like this game will get reset at presumably that 2-0 score in favor of Cloud9, but we will have a game reset coming in.
Yeah, we'll get confirmation from the admins as soon as we can that just what the score will be. Snakebite doing the polite thing and making sure he runs the flag home to see if it goes, hey, it was 2-1, man. 2-1 when he's disconnected. Go back and watch the VOD, trust me. But I think we've already seen a lot of what we can expect from Cloud9 in the series. I think they want to make a statement here. Yeah. There's been a lot of talk about, Sentinel's going to be the team that really pushes them all the way, the return of Royal 2, all the storylines behind it, right? We were talking like off the the desk we were saying it would be such a C9 thing, just as like C9 just 3-0.
Yeah,
and just remember, we're here for a reason. There's a reason that we've won everything.
And what's interesting is this series, the reason we're talking about how much is on the line here is because this series is such a tone setter for the weekend, and it goes one of two ways. There's no middle ground here. Either this series, right, C9 is just as good as they have been, or Sentinels is a different team this weekend, right? There's really no middle ground where we say, we're not sure what we learned. I think we're going to learn one of those two things, and only one of the two.
I will say this, though. Let's kind of put this into context as well. This is pool play. This is pool play, and I will say that it's sometimes difficult as a player and as a team to fire yourself up because there isn't quite as much on the line as this is say a winner's bracket final. Knowing that if you, for example, if C9 beats Sentinels in a winner's bracket final, then Sentinels have to beat them twice if they come back. And on the flip side of that, an elimination game where, you're going to be packing your bags and you're going to be going home and not spending too much time in the sun here in Anaheim, and the tournament's going to be over. So let's keep that in context as well. And I think it was actually a really good point, which is a very strange thing to say, that Golden Boy brought up on the test, which was this is a real opportunity for Sentinels to learn. They're going to take a lot of information away from this series, and I think being in C9's pool, in context and added onto the top that they haven't wanted to play Sentinels C9 to give them that opportunity to play, is the best possible situation for them to actually find themselves in.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. You see Hoaxer and Penguin there talking with League Operations, presumably on exactly what that scoreline was, whether a flag was out, etc.
I just want to say, by the way, Golden Boy makes good points all the time. Like, he's too easy a target. So, do you know what? I'm going to stand up for GB sometime. Like, I'm going to become that guy.
You would be. I will say you would be a trendsetter.
Yeah.
In
do you know what?
This is it.
Golden Boy, you got a friend in me. I'm going to war for him.
You know what? I'll support him too. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? Come on, everyone's had a rough go over the past few years. We got to support each other here, and we're certainly in support of getting this match underway once again as fast as we can. As we said, presumably will be a 2-0 in favor of Cloud9, and we should talk, Mark, about what we saw in that opening, because I think it's pretty indicative of where the league standings are, of their past meeting and pro series in this game type. I think we're seeing mostly what we expected from these two.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said right at the start of the series, there's a lot of talk about can Sentinels beat C9, all this kind of stuff, right? C9, for me, undoubtedly the favorites. And I think we just saw why they are at the start of that game. Even though we only saw 2 flag caps go in, the majority of the game was played inside and around Sentinels' base. I mean, how many times did we saw maybe a desperate last-minute stop that they tried to get on that first flag? Even then, C9 managed to convert. And then the second time that we saw C9 on the back foot, they managed to get a 4 dead. And then the last time that we saw Sentinels get in the base, they got the flag out, but it got returned almost immediately. So C9 really did spend a lot of the time on top of Sentinels, it seemed, in that game. And the man on your screen right now, I mean, it's so difficult for me when I say you don't talk about this player enough. You don't talk about this player enough. But it's true. Every single player on Cloud9, I could sit down and have a conversation with anyone about how good they are at this game.
I think they're all criminally under-discussed. In the history of the past few years of competitive Halo, I think oftentimes it's because, right, they're quiet guys in general in their demeanor, maybe Penguin the exception there, but the fact that they're just cool, calm, quiet, and they just win tournaments. And I think a lot of people, right, have not thought about the fact that these guys are just clinical and surgical in the way that they do things. And I agree, you can't talk enough about what they've accomplished over the past few years and even the past few weeks specifically.
Yeah, I want to see an eco vlog. That's what I want to see. You know what I mean?
Give me a full series.
Yeah, give me a series. I want to see an eco vlog. Hey guys, Eco here, Kevin Smith.
I think we gotta get in touch with his wife, because then we could force this to happen.
Yeah,
a day in the life of Eco.
Bit of pressure on him.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, maybe we can see if we can make that happen.
I feel like she has more sway than we do.
Yeah, probably. Sure. Eco's not going to listen to us, but you know, understandably so as well. It's probably not the best thing to do. But let's talk about Sentinels a little bit here, because even though they struggled a little bit at the start of that game, I will say. I will also kind of caveat that with the fact that I don't think Aquarius CTF is one of their strongest game types across the game types that we have in Halo Infinite at the moment. I feel like they're still trying to kind of figure the pieces out on how they want to approach it, if they want to control X side of the map or if it's going to be, you know, the more classic side of the map. For me, they're still trying to kind of work that out. Whereas, you know, the pressure that Cloud9 put on, I always find it fascinating to watch. It's almost as if everyone fills it in the space they need to almost instinctively. It doesn't have to be like deep communication of like, oh, don't do this, I'm holding here, I'm holding that. It's almost as if it's so natural for these guys to play together.
That's right. And the one thing we talked about earlier is that Sentinels does have that clutch factor on their side. If they can push this series a little bit further, right? 12-3 in series deciding games. That's a huge ratio. We'll have to see if they can just hang on and get us there. It would be a huge statement, but long way to go. We're hearing now from League Operations that it will indeed be as we had anticipated, a 2-0 start in favor of Cloud9. They will play the game from the full-timer, and I believe it will end around the 4-minute mark if the score is not tied in aggregate score.
It will indeed. So C9 are going to be understandably 2-0 up after the performance before. Unfortunately, we had the disconnect. Hopefully we can get it sorted as quickly as possible. I've got a lint roller, by the way, that I can lend a lethal just for that hat. It's a more expensive hat than anything that I own. But,
careful, that lint roller might destroy that.
That's a good point, mate. It's a very low-quality lint roller.
Exactly, it is. I've seen it. It's not good.
it's barely holding itself together, let alone, you know what? Maybe not. Let's just leave that to the side. Let's leave the lint roller aside. But, I mean, let's talk about Sentinels a little bit, because it's been a really weird season for them. A really weird season.
Not how they expected to start the season, not how anyone who's a fan of these players or this organization, and I would say, of course, organization management as well, not how they expected it. And you have to think, now they finally can look at this season and start the way they hoped to, intend to, back in November. And now, as we said, the first time that they're sitting next to each other on LAN for a long time. Of course, Royal 2 unable to play due to league rulings, and now finally back with this squad. And as you said, slow start for him. I believe 4-10 when we checked in with his stats in that game number 1. And you have to think maybe a little bit of a restart here to get him back into gear and maybe put up the Royal 2 numbers that we expect in this game number 1.
Yeah, a little bit of a correction as well, for just hearing from the back. It's going to be played to the 6-minute mark. So it's going to be, instead of the 4 that we originally thought, a little bit of an update for you, it's going to be the 6-minute mark. Someone in the back obviously was, my kind of maths, to be fair. Right, so I understand it. It happens.
So it should be, with 12 minutes total, it should be a 6-minute game in total, stopping at the 6-minute mark.
12, just to throw that out there.
It is.
Mathematical genius over here.
That's not bad, actually. That's not the best
for me. That's pretty good, yeah.
And as we said, 2-0 in favor of C9. You have to also think C9 is going to be able to play very fast, but that 2-flag cushion going to be even more difficult for the side of Sentinels.
However, as we know, it is a possible thing that you can do here on Aquarius is to go back-to-back, right? You get a 4 dead, you get inside the base, you can go back-to-back. A little bit like Onslaught, how we used to see, back-to-back flags being capped. It's a little bit less frequent because it's a slightly larger map and the sightlines aren't quite as open on those respawners, but it's very possible. And we have seen it numerous times from different teams in the Pro Series in recent weeks.
And what you have to do is, to do that, you have to kill the last member of C9, which is maybe the hardest thing to do, and the tallest order in all of Halo Infinite is you need to not only kill the last remaining player or players of C9, but you probably need to do it twice at least, at bare minimum, to run those 2 flags. So that will be difficult. As we've seen time and time again, it doesn't matter the map. Onset, you and I have watched so much VOD from this team. If there's one team that knows how to keep their players alive and in dangerous positions, it is Cloud9.
Yeah, something I want to highlight about this tournament as well. It's obviously it's not ideal that we don't have everyone at home here. We'd love to have everyone at home here cheering these guys on, but it's almost like this is the purest form of Halo that we could possibly have, right? It's 2 teams sat in a room, LAN, and nothing else.
No external factors.
No external factors whatsoever. It's almost like, it's almost like the sterile Halo. It's like there's just a control Halo. It's like whoever is the best team is the best team. Yeah. There's no hype coming from the crowd. There's none of that. Obviously, I'm sure everyone who's at home in the chat right now is dropping the C9 win, or they're dropping Sentinels emotes all over the place. But it's different here. It's different here, and I think there's no excuses whatsoever.
It's true. I think, and both of these teams know that. They know that this is a tournament environment that they're very familiar with. This is essentially a one-on-one LAN on this main stage with huge stakes, not just in terms of prize money, but also points, bragging rights, and everything for the rest of the season. I think most importantly, though, these players on the main stage, they've all seen and tasted victory. They've won a lot of money playing professional Halo. For every single player on the stage, all 8 of them, and then also coaches included, this is so much more than that. This is really about which team is the best in North America right now. And on both sides of the stage, both of these teams want to come away from this series to set a tone for the weekend. Yeah, and apologies to everyone at home. We want to get back into this game as soon as we possibly can. We want to see this first game conclude and the rest of the series kind of tell the story. But I talked to you a second about how I could talk about any member of Cloud9 for quite some time. We have the opportunity to do that. Let's go. So let's grab a chair, everybody. It's time for story time with Onset and Bravo. I would say grab a beer.
And maybe something stronger, to be honest with you.
We're going to ask for some beers over here.
Yeah, we'll get that brought over in just a few seconds. But I want to talk about Stella, because Stella, for me, is...
You want some Stellas?
Tell you what, I'm not far off if this series doesn't carry on pretty quickly. But I want to talk about Stella, because here's a statement for you. I think that Stella's the best player in the game right now in Halo Infinite.
It is a statement.
Because the man does not make mistakes.
That's true. I don't think it's a crazy one, but I do think he's underrated enough that a lot of players
People would be surprised by that statement.
Exactly. I think he is underrated enough, or at least under-discussed enough. But you talk about Stellar right now, he does have the highest KD through the Pro Series over these past 4 weeks. 1.39 KD, third overall in North America. The man is a monster, and I think he's been putting up the numbers you expect to see. An average of 17.5 kills per game.
Which is ridiculous. Which is
absurd.
Absolutely absurd. And
scary.
When I say he's the best player in the game, I always look at, you get into these big games, you have likes of Optic going up against C9, you have Sentinels against C9, you have whoever it's going to be versus C9. If you watch Stellar's POV for the entirety of a series, it's shocking when you see him make a misplay. And I mean, like, not just miss shots. I mean, just like situation recognition. If he realizes, hey, look, we've got an opportunity to push here, there's no second guessing. He's always there to support a teammate. He's always winning an individual fight. He's always finding the quickest way to get from A to B to support a teammate. Or if they're down numbers, Stellar goes missing on the map. He becomes almost invisible. I'm sorry, everyone. Story time's over. Hopefully we can pick this up. Maybe we should start a podcast, Andy. But for now, it's going to be our voices casting over some gameplay because it looks like we're ready to get back into this. A little reminder to everyone at home, it will be a 2-0 lead here for Cloud9. 6 minutes left to play. Let's see if they can close this one out.
That's right. 2 flags already at home. You have to wonder if that's going to influence the way that C9 does play it. Keep in mind that will give them enough of a cushion to play a little bit more control-based gameplay. They can control top mid. They don't have to force flags. There really isn't pressure to bring those flags back home, so it will give them just a little bit of an extra oomph. Here we go. Back into the game.
Hey, I tell you what, sometimes a break can do some funny things to players and teams, and it might have been a chance here for Sentinels to regain, to have a little chat about how they want to approach things, or maybe it's going to be the same old, same old. There's Stellar not making mistakes at the start of this game.
If this is any indication, it might be same old, same old. 2 dead already. Stellar is already in the back of the base and somehow even avoids the damage from the melee and gets away with it. It's those little differences like that that make such a big difference.
And look at this now, waiting for the shields. Frosty will trade with Renegade, but this is just such a difficult situation for Lethal. Has to turn his attention towards that flag, but Penguin reacts to the call out perfectly. Royal 2 will be taken down as well. 3 dead, 4 dead. It doesn't matter because there's going to be another flag going in just a few seconds here. Cloud9 are murdering Sentinels in this game.
Finally gets taken down, but my God, what a start there. And just constantly killing the fresh spawners, doing so much damage. And Onset, you called it perfectly. We could not have asked for a better start and a better POV to start that game with because Stellar connected all the... My God, look at Sentinels running like chickens with their heads cut off, just trying to find a safe place to play.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. This is Frosty POV now. Eco's going to pick up one as well. Penguin's inside of the base. Commando versus Commando. Well, that's going to be a little bit of an interesting instigation between those two players. Lethal finally picks up a kill inside of the base. That's 3 dead here for Cloud9. Now this is the opportunity for Sentinels. Let's see if they can do to C9 what they did to them a few seconds ago.
Frosty manages to trade there, did just pick up the thrust, hoping to maybe get a little bit more out of that one. A nice double kill, though, comes in from Stellar. And he's got the heat wave as well.
Last player alive here, Stellar, but on the same side, Sentinels only had one alive. So Sentinels, again, on the back foot just because of Stellar's positioning now. He has to force the rest of Sentinels to rotate to get back inside of their base to clear him out, because otherwise, he's just going to be sitting here, playing pretty. Doing his hair without even getting his hands.
Yep, why not? Why not toss that flag out? Stellar's just going to continue to cause havoc, force their opponents back. They're going to now look for those kills around top middle. If those do come in, we'll have to see if he picked. Oh, wow. Frosty very well handled on that heat wave.
Yeah, needed to handle it as well and does such a good job. Camo's popping as well. Royal 2 is top middle and picks up a kill onto Penguin. There's a little grenade that's going to roll towards that Camo. Eco picks up the kill onto Royal 2. But now this is the chance here for Sentinels. Frosty has Camo. He has heat wave. He needs to make something happen.
Yeah, they need to pick up some kills here, and they need to do it quickly right now. 3v3 on the board momentarily, and they need to make sure. Right now they lose Lethal and they lose Snakebite, so it might be a moment here where Frosty has to wait, has to play this very strategically.
What up, Stellar? Stellar gets a beatdown on his way towards that thrust, and that's not going to be the most productive use.
That's the win for Stellar.
Of the Camo, as I say, and that heat wave. Renegade now picks up a kill onto Snakebite, and Penguin is going to be charging forward with the heat wave in his hands. There's one thing that's difficult to deal with. It's a player in your base. You give them the weapons up close. It's even more of a problem here for Sentinels.
Cloud9 keeping up that mid-shiv or onslaught-style toss. Just keep tossing the flag out. Make your opponent panic. That's exactly what they're doing. Penguin's a little bit crazy here. Whew. Somehow gets the assist and kills Royal 2. That's the difference maker, right? Those bold plays there where he's able to do a lot more damage than you might expect. Eco's going to keep this thing going.
He is, but look at the other side of things. Snakebite picks up a double kill. Eco gets a touch on the flag and now has to turn his attentions towards Royal 2. Not only does he turn his attentions, he deals with him, but a trade comes in, and now, as we see a 1v1, Penguin gets taken down. Snakebite starting to warm up a little bit here, but as I say that, the house of cards full of all the Sentinels players find themselves in the respawn screen.
Yeah, it was 4 dead there momentarily, so we'll have to see. But good numbers, like you said, on the board for each side. Right now, Cloud9 slightly outslaying the likes of Sentinels.
Touch comes in, though, from Royal 2. Frosty taken down. Who else but Stella? Now he's on that return, trying to finish off the kill onto Royal 2. Such an important double, make it a triple. The man does not make mistakes. The return will come in just a few seconds as well, as Eco is there to shepherd it home. It's 1-0 the score here, and it's going to be 2. That's 4 overall now. We're playing to 6 minutes on the game clock, remember, but C9 now just need 1.
It's just like you said, Stellar once again with a beautiful triple there, gets a lot of help from the team, just great comms coming in, and Stellar's able to jump on that return and does it without all the information, but his team was able to help team shoot to get him out of that one. Now it is 4-0 in aggregate score from our game number 1, only 1 flag away, and also a minute 40 away from the game ending.
Eco just playing a little defense inside his utility at the moment. Penguin trying to escape. Royal 2's trying to close him down, but look at the help. Again, the positioning, just how they play together, so good here from C9, but you can say on the other side of things, even better in that circumstance from Sentinels. Snakebite's got that flag over halfway. Stellar and Renegade last 2 alive, but it looks like he'll be able to at least get this back into the base, run it through that pit corridor, and if he's going to play this one well and avoid these grenades, that will be the first flag cap on the board here for Sen.
Wow, great work there with the flag toss. Look at that, how he uses the thrust to avoid the nades and the shots. They bring that in, not over yet. 1:05 on the clock here, but my goodness, do they need a few flags to tie this one. It's going to be a tall order and likely impossible.
Yeah, almost impossible. Let's be real about this one. Snakebite and Frosty pick up some kills, and maybe it's just a little bit of confidence boost, right, towards the end of this game here for Sentinels. If they can get a couple of back-to-back flags, maybe 2 or 3, then they can carry that momentum over to our second game of the series, but for now, it looks like they're going to have to be happy with 1. Only 40 seconds on the clock until we call this one done. It's looking like this is a C9 win in game number 1.
That's right, and for those of you joining us here, we do have a restart in this game, so there are actually 4 flags on the board. The game started 2-0 in favor of Cloud9, so that red 2 is actually a 4-1 game right now. Maybe a little bit of confidence at the end, though, but 20 seconds left before the clock will tick down on our restart.
Penguin picks up 1. Snakebite moves in and picks up that kill onto Penguin. There's going to be a beatdown, going to be whiffed, but Frosty's there to make sure that Snakebite isn't made to look quite the fool there. The flag is still out. Stella will be taken down as well, and Snakebite on the killing spree, and also with the flag moving. Sentinel starting to find a little bit of form, but as I say that, maybe just a little bit of step here, but it doesn't matter because that will be the game done and dusted. Map number 1 in the series goes to Cloud9.
Yeah, that's going to be it there, as you see, and looks like players still zoned in a bit. I think they're wondering, making sure that the word comes in from the stage referees that game is indeed done and dusted. You never want to. There we go. Now the fist bumps come in. Now they realize that they have indeed won that series. Of course, a little bit hard to track in terms of overall game timer versus the first match, but as you say, on set, that first game will go in. It's a pretty convincing win for the side of C9.
I think pretty convincing is the understatement of all understatements. I think you're being very fair there. I think Cloud9 absolutely dominated Sentinels. Let's be real, in not only the game before the restart, but post-restart as well. Sentinels managed
even more so.
Yeah, but Sentinels managed to get 1 flag on the board, but it was nothing compared to what Cloud9 did to them. It's very rare that we see the Sentinels lineup handled in the way that C9 did. Yes, we have to keep it in our eyes that, you know, this is the first time that Sentinels have played together on LAN in quite some time, and yada, 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 but with the pedigree of the 4 players on stage,
it's true.
They're going to be very disappointed with how that game went.
They are. They're going to be hard on themselves, and for good reason. They've got unbelievable amount of tournament success under their belt, and this is not any team playing against C9, right? Like, just like you say, this is a team of legendary Halo players, some of the best to ever play the game against C9, and they have high expectations for this series. Here's a look at the highlights.
Yeah, and this is going to be the Stellar show again, which is something that I love to see. As I say, I made the call earlier. I think he's right now the best player in the game, and which is difficult to say when you're playing alongside the likes of Eco and, you know, Penguin and that little man called Renegade who's been playing quite well at the moment. But it's just the little things that Stellar does so well. It's fundamental Halo, but it is played almost to perfection.
It is. Look at this. Look how he jumps on the re. So confident. Make sure to get this cleanup as well. Gets the call out. There's another player coming out. Just great teamwork there. Stellar knew that he was the one who had to jump on that flag. He does just that. That secured their 4th flag.
And another crazy thing about Stellar as well, I'm going to keep throwing praise towards him because I think you need to be honest with you, is that a lot of the time he does it with just a battle rifle in his hands, right?
Exactly.
He doesn't have too many power weapons to play
one
with.
of the reasons that maybe he's a little bit under-discussed because he's just doing the BR.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, he kind of reminds me of Roy a little bit in the way that he plays. You know, Prime Roy, he was just kind of walking around with that battle rifle in his hand, bang, 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 not missing too many shots,
doing all the dirty work,
being in that power position to put those shots down and rain those shots down. So Stellar, from me anyway, drawing some pretty comfortable comparisons and pretty recommended comparisons. I don't think anyone would say, oh, you're comparing me to Roy. That's not a great thing. You know what I mean?
Right, of course.
It's certainly something that is a commendable thing to be compared to. And I think he's only getting better and better. That's the scary thing about Stellar. And he's quite happy to just unassumingly go about his work quietly under the radar.
And here we go now. Slayer Recharge going to be your game number 2. Cloud9 versus Sentinel. C9 right now leading in the series 1-0. These two teams have played this game type in Pro Series as well. Cloud9 did win both of those outings.
Yeah, so we'll have to see if Sentinels can upset the form book a little bit here in this map number 2. But I tell you what, it's nice to be on to our second map because Aquarius took ages. Here we go. It's time for some recharge. First and 50 here in Team Slayer. And Snakebite's going to put Stella on his back to start.
And let's keep in mind, on average, this game ends 50-44 statistically in favor of C9. So still a pretty close game.
Shock rifle in the hands of Renegade. Always an exciting thing to watch. There's the cat ears of Royal 2 trying to put him on his back. Royal 2 very noticeable across the map with those cat ears poking out the top of the helmet.
Absolutely going to be known on the map without a doubt. The man is freed. He's back in action. A Renegade, though, also in action with the Shock, thinking about grappling into control and starting to light things up a bit against Frosty. Finds another one. That will be a double. Can he turn 3? Grapples up, misses it, but might still get this on Royal 2. Assist will come in, but not the triple.
Oh, what a play that was from Renegade. I mean, it's just a jungle gym for him, isn't it? This map, when he's got that grapple in his hands and the shock rifle, it was almost more of a surprise to not see him hit the shot. Eco, though, will manage to drop the hips and drop the shoulders as he managed to avoid those 2 grenades being thrown by Lethal. A little bit of a jig, and he picks up the kill alongside it. But look at this health from Eco. Not a lot to play with, but stays alive. There's a repulsor, and it will be a little bit of a swim for Eco.
Nice play from Snakebite there. He said, either I'm going to sword lunge you or you're going to fly off the map. Those are the 2 opportunities here. That's all that's going to happen. Mangler push from Stellar. Frosty on the other end, though, hits the shock rifle shot, bringing the game to 12-7.
Penguin, don't challenge him, because that's going to happen, my friend. He gets perfected with this shock rifle again, and maybe it's going to have to be Frosty again, who just steps up here and puts on a game-changing performance. Lethal versus Renegade. You can see that Frosty can't get the shot, but he doesn't need to, because the 1v1 will be won. Stella trades it out almost immediately, but here goes Frosty again, looking to hit a few crazy shots. Eco is just going to get a little bit singed by that one, but not put on his back.
Trying to get an angle here. Connecting just a little bit, but this game has stayed close, 14-12. In favor of C9 and some good control here. Now make that a 2-kill game, 15-13.
Shock rifle making the difference here as Renegade's going to be put on his back as Eco's now going to challenge. He's going to grab that mangler. Frosty doesn't care. Frosty's going to charge at you and at least get that trade, but I like the confidence in the play as Penguin's going to sneak in and get that camo.
Big opportunity here, 2-kill game, and if you're on C9, you want to blow this game wide open. You do not. Ooh, a sword as well in the back pocket for him. Snakebite does not know about it. He had a mangler. It would have come in handy in that situation, but in the end, World 2 provides some good pressure, but Penguin, my God, just backing away from the geometry perfectly. Doesn't even take any damage from that nade. That makes for an easy push.
Yeah, this has been the game changer here so far. Still pretty close between the 2 teams. This camo is going to expire in a few moments. Renegade's going to pick up a kill, so is Eco. So the distraction that's been created on this side of the map has allowed the rest of C9 to move up onto Sentinels, who are now trapped inside of tower, but not for too long. As you can see, Royal 2 and Frosty pick up some kills.
Still a 3-kill game. Sentinels does very well to keep this respectable. Renegade already 9-4 in this game. Starting to really light up.
Just want to see someone get a shock rifle again at the moment, to
be
honest with you, because
me too.
It's been pretty fun to watch. No players really missing too many shots. Snakebite's not going to have to deal with bullets. He's going to have to deal with a blade, though. As Penguin picks up that beat down, Frosty and Renegade are going to be trading kills for both C9 and Sentinels, respectively. 23-19, 4 kills between the 2 players. Speaking of which, Stella, it's your turn to impress us.
We've seen some great shock rifle play, without a doubt. Pretty different from our earlier rounds as well. When you see the best players in the world on these top 2 teams, they hit those shots. And just like that, still a 4-kill game between these 2. Slows down just a bit.
Frosty making the push from battery. Stella's trying to hunt him down here. You can see it's actually going to be Renegade who's in position to respond to the call out that came in from Stella. Lethal picks up one onto Eco, so still pretty close between the 2 teams. There's another headshot, and with that, we're starting to see that gap extend now between the 2. 27-21 is a 6-kill difference.
Gotta wonder what's going on between the sides of these 2 teams in terms of comms. Hits the shot again on Lethal. You cannot afford to peek right now. C9 looking to run away with this. Let's get into a listen in here with the side of Cloud9.
There's 3 turbine, I think, guys. Could be on you, Braden. There could be red on you.
Yo, get sword, Kevin. Get sword, Kevin. Yeah. I'm going BR with camo sword. Mangler down right here, John. Top BR weak on you.
You want the sword, John?
What's up, top BR? And 1BR1.
Bottom BR.
Nah, I have a sword.
They're all BR. They're all BR, literally.
Okay.
Double on top cat.
Alright, I'm coming, Kevin. I'm one shot. Give my shields.
Coming as well.
Yeah, I'm here.
Actually, I'm going back to red.
Here,
One shot at me.
Nice, good job.
One.
Yo, Mangler down silo, whoever spawns here.
Low.
Yeah, I'm with you in red. We can just.
They're gonna be Ellie's, they're gonna be Ellie's. Yo, I'm gonna play Turbine here, fuck it. Yo, hell.
We're spawning them out.
Wait,
Stage. I got 4 on me. I got 1. I'm out of sword,
Stage.
One shot bottom Ellie's, 2 bottom Ellie's. 1 shot under the stairs.
We can push this.
Back Ellie's now, last guy. To the left.
one try.
2 dead.
All dead. Spawning red. I'm going long haul.
Right, I'm gonna push
I'm
this.
coming
Red,
red.
red,
Top
red.
red. Top red.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to
Top red.
me.
Roll 2.
Yo, I'm hitting red stairs.
One shot. Okay, I'll go up.
Royal 2 is easy.
Last.
Glass.
Glass, Brayden.
Well, we jumped into the listening, the score was pretty close, and now it's looking like a steak dinner might be on the menu, Andy. What has happened? And when we talked about Stella, we were like, hey, this man does it without the power weapons. He's been hitting all sorts of crazy shots with the charge rifle.
I mean, what an amazing look at C9 there. Just unbelievable stuff. Just clinical. Once again, you heard how perfect the callouts were in bottom elevator, making sure they knew exactly how many players were there and how many players needed to be eliminated. Also, how many team shots. Barely any 1v1s in those battles. Just perfect work. Renegade picks up another one.
Yeah, that was accidental. I'm going to say that. He jumped into the line of sight and the shock rifle hit for the trade. Penguin now going to have the sword in his hand, but look at the score, 42-29. C9 answering a lot of questions, and I think they probably heard a lot of people talking, ourselves included, about how maybe Sentinels can be the team to dethrone them. At the moment, it's looking like business as usual hit for C9. Snake right with a stick onto Eco, but again, Penguin with a sword has just been slicing up his dinner.
Love the comms that we heard from them, and just absolutely surgical. And now another camo popping up as well, only 5 kills to go. Look how Penguin pushes past it. Love this play, and eventually he will actually get caught out, so it's a nice answer back, but wow, that would have been something else. Camo will fall as well.
I was about to say to the observer, could I be a little bit greedy here? Could I be a little bit greedy? Hey, Frosty, you're losing the game, my friend. 4 kills to go. Maybe, you know what? Frosty's going to do something cool, at least at the end of this game. I can guarantee that, everyone. Ready? Royal 2 picks up 1 onto Eco. Just hold on. This is an on-set promise. You see that jump? That was sick, all right?
No, wait. That does not count. 47-38. No, there it is! Okay, fine. He finds it. Brings it to 39. Might be a little too late, though, for the side of Sentinels. Tried to keep this game respectable, but only 3 kills to go. Looks like the room for error not great enough. It'll just be 3 more for the side of C9.
You say that. Royal 2's got a sword. It's 41-47. Now, don't get me wrong.
It's not over. You're absolutely right.
Sentinels cannot make one mistake here. Frosty has the shock rifle. Royal 2 has the sword. And maybe with 1 shot here, it could have been a little bit of a turnaround, but the kill that comes in for C9 is going to really make this difficult. Stella's going to be grappling in as well. Takes a little bit of damage on the cross here, and now he's 1 shot as well. 2 kills to go for C9. Surely they can't throw this one away.
I don't think so. 48-42. Let's see exactly how this plays out, though. Frosty does not hit the first shock, which might cost them 49-44. 49th does come in.
Renegade picks up 1. And Renegade is bottom middle. 6 needed. Cloud9 only need the
Dangerous
1.
for
Lethal
Lethal.
taken down to no shields, and Eco will close things out. Got a little bit scary towards the end there for C9, I have to say. But they managed to close things out. It's 2-0 in the series now to C9.
I gotta say, it's actually a great play to go bottom middle. There's a lot of times on recharge where bottom middle is not counted as a potential route, but as you can see, it forces a player like Lethal to actually sit there on the battery's box, on C-plat, and actually look down, and you could tell right away when he didn't get the kill immediately, the shots were gonna come from A, they were gonna come from control, and it was only a matter of time before he was lit up. So expect to see bottom mid used more and more, especially if you're watching scrims these past few weeks. Bottom mid used in different game types in different ways on recharge. It pays off in the end, and like you said, it got a little dicey around the 40 mark, even though it was a 7-kill game, so you have to think Sentinels just did not give themselves enough time.
I think the difference between the 2 teams was sandbox in that game. C9 controlled it a lot more. You saw Penguin with a sword multiple occasions. You saw Stella with a shock rifle. You saw Renegade with a shock rifle. And you're looking at the stats across the board. Speaking of Renegade, you can see 19 and 11. Pretty good.
Enormous numbers here from him in a game where you win by 6. If you go positive 8, I would say it is a pretty damn good performance.
Pretty
Renegade going to be very happy with that. The entire squad going to be happy with that. Sentinels, though, needs to find something in the back pocket, even if it isn't a series win here. I think for this side, they're going to really hope to get a game out of the series, maybe even get 2 out of this series, just to be able to have a little bit more confidence going into the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, a little bit of concern. The stats there coming in for Lethal. My goodness, we didn't catch that on the stream, but that is a nasty play coming in from Renegade. There was another one as well, that double kill. You just almost expected him to hit that one, by the way. It was almost weird that he didn't. It was like, wait, well, Renegade missed the shot. Still managed to turn it around, but Lethal, the lowest in the lobby for damage dealt in that Slayer. Obviously, he was getting caught out maybe by some of those power weapons that were being put to use by C9 at the start, but he's going to need to step up next time we see them in that TS.
Certainly, as we take a look at this next game type as well, and you can just see, I mean, look how these guys win, right? Once again, it doesn't even look like the game has ended. You can't even tell half the time when you watch Cloud9 because they are so used to winning. You got to love and appreciate and respect their approach to these games. Right now, they're up 2-0. Game number 3, Oddball Streets, a chance for Sentinels to stay alive or for C9 to continue writing a fairly undefeated story.
Yeah, it is an undefeated story. it's at the moment, and Oddball Streets is going to certainly be a game type that they're not going to be shirking away from. They love playing on streets. They've had a lot of success on streets. However, at the same time, I will say this. Sentinels play this map very, very well. They like to play it aggressive. They like to always be pushing those spawns. They kind of play it like C9 play it, right? Because it's the right way to play it. I know it sounds like a crazy thing to do, but not too many teams are able to execute it. I think this is going to be a fascinating map number 3. I'm not writing this one away yet.
No, me neither.
I don't think this could well be Sentinel's way back into this series. With the way that last game ended as well, they need to take that confidence in now to this 3rd map of the series. However, don't be surprised if C9 manage to close things out right here, right now.
Yeah, I mean, you and I as neutral fans and many people joining us here on Twitch and YouTube also as neutral fans of competitive Halo, they just want to see the best games, and I know we would love to see this series go the distance. We'd love to see what Sentinels has in the tank. Do they have some surprises left for us on this Friday evening? Here we go, game number 3.
Here we go then, Andy! It's going to be game number 3. Penguin we're going to be watching off the rip here. Has that drop ball and a Bulldog. Stella already picking up a kill before Penguin even sees an engagement. Snakebite trades it out though. Couple of kills down on the side of Sentinel. C9 find themselves with just 2 on the map.
Yeah, nice little lead here for Sentinels as they're able to win that exchange for just a second, but here come the Rockets. My God, those were loud. As Renegade checks the rocket pocket, finds nothing. And gonna try to stay alive here, so no holds just yet.
Snakebite just heard it coming, you know?
Whizzing by.
Just heard it. Eco picks up a double though. That's going to create some map space here for Renegade to do what he wants. You can see he's just moving as quickly as possible. Point A to point B. The rocket will connect, but not for a kill. But there's Penguin to secure it. Oddball in the hands. It looks like they're trying to rotate to where those kills happened inside a tram for a hold.
And Renegade also just checking PD, making sure there's no PD spawns right away. Look at that, just getting so much information. Find someone through tires. Royal 2 has no idea. He's even been called out already. And now they're going to start to collapse a bit.
Yeah, you just saw Royal 2's cat ears just kind of appear over the top of the window still, so to speak, as he made that cross to Arcade. Lethal trying to push down now. 10-0 the score. C9 do have a lead, even though it is a thin one. You can see Lethal's trying to get behind enemy lines here to find this player. Eco, but no. Sentinel beam and a beatdown combined with the thrust. I'm not sure the algebra behind it, but it means a win.
It really does there. That's a very difficult battle to go into. Royal 2 does well to stay alive here, though, momentarily. And only a few points on the board coming in for Cloud9, and some very nice shot from Royal 2. The man is back in action. He will fall C, though.
Lethal trying to stay alive at the bottom of the B stairs. Manages to do so for now. There's another spike grenade.
There we go.
Fine, that gets the job done as Penguin walks away with the ball in his hand. So he's going to be a hold above where the commando is, maybe just moving towards the pink streets, as that's where those spawns have come in now for Eco. So that's going to be where the rotation options are here for C9.
Look at that. I mean, you might notice that Penguin constantly looking to his right. The amount of screen watching this guy's doing, it's amazing to see in a LAN environment just how much screen watching is a factor, and they're doing so well right now. On the board, though, keep in mind, C9, one of the teams that they might not have huge leads in Oddball, but they play for continuous control the entire game. They might not blow you out immediately, but they will lead in terms of map control the entire match.
And look at the score as well as the weaponry. You're seeing in the kill feed, Bulldog picks up a kill for C9. Renegade, another rocket to play with. Snakebite has that battle rifle. Oh, trusty. But then you're going to see as the rockets get used, once again, Renegade exchanges one weapon for another. He now has that Bulldog in his hand.
That's not the first time we've seen it, right? We've seen the rockets drop for the Bulldog earlier, too. They're constantly just rotating these power weapons one after another, and it just leads to continued control. They still have 1 dead, and you could just tell now there's 2 dead once again. Just look at the numbers. Now there's 2 dead again, a fresh spawner. Perfect timing. We talk about the speed that Cloud9 plays. They're doing exactly what they need to.
Renegade!
Killing spree for Renegade as well to top it off.
Bulldog, battle rifle, dining table, roll towards Snakebite, grenades. It doesn't matter. He's using everything on the map. Some accidentally, it has to be said, but he's certainly making it work at the moment. 40-0 in this round number 1 at the moment. It's just a massacre here. Cloud9 are playing some phenomenal Halo Infinite, and Sentinels are feeling the pain.
Talk about, I mean, just absolutely beautiful weapon efficiency there. Uses every single shot in the Bulldog, playing that rail so well as well. And we'll have to see now, 50-0, and Cloud9 just playing slow and steady wins the race. They've got all the points on the board they need. Sentinel still yet to even get on the board.
Royal 2 gets the trade. Currently 4 and 8 for Royal 2. Again, not the stat line that we're used to seeing from him. Just finding himself back find his way, I should say, back into this LAN environment. Frosty picks up one onto Renegade, though, and he's going to be a pain here. You can see the rest of these teammates are trying to push up, and it looks like C9 have actually moved away and tried to challenge that second line of spawners, which is going to allow Frosty to move in here, grab a little bit of oddball time, but now you're going to see the push from C9 as they turn around and make that aggressive push onto that oddball holder.
2 dead for each side for just a moment, and Frosty actually just trying to flank around this push as well. I'm not sure if he knows about this last player, PD, who else but Renegade, but very nice shots from Frosty, the man in the shadows.
Yeah, woof, woof, woof as the Bulldog barks. Manages to pick up a couple of kills in his way. Snakebite's going to have the Stalker Rifle in his hands as well, which is going to do a heck of a lot of damage. There's a nice shot onto the back of Eco to take him down. Rockets in the hands of Snakebite once again. There's a double kill and there's a little bit of ball time.
Reset.
Think about that one for a few seconds as that ball gets returned just in front of Snakebite. And if that isn't symptoms of what is happening so much, the moment, excuse me, to Sentinels in this series, I don't think anything else can really be compared to it.
Brutal there. As you saw, they were just about to get that ball touch. It gets reset. Stellar not only pulls it away, but even gets a few seconds on the clock too. So 54-2. But we should talk about that. Sentinels with a nice exchange there. Nice set of kills. They're starting to get a little bit of heat here, but look at the clock. There's only a minute left. They would need some great holds here to really slow this game down.
Eco, big 1v1 win there against Frosty as well. Usually you're seeing Frosty winning all those 1v1s, right? Eco, he's not letting him do so. I know it sounds like a very silly thing, but that's now created the space for the rest of his teammates to push up. And look at that. C9 finds Sentinels 3 dead momentarily, allows Penguin to move in and get that oddball in his hand. And it's just so fun to watch C9 play. Every single player is thinking about winning the game. If it's Penguin going for the ball, Eco going for the ball, they do not mind. They're all about that dub.
2 dead once again. I mean, keep an eye on that top right. They are keeping the spawn rotations perfect. It feels like there was always 2 players dead on Sentinels. Eco drops down to do some cleaning up at front C as well. Just like that, it's 74-2.
Neither and Frosty pick up kills. Frosty's trying to move in with that Bulldog again. There's actually so much. I'm going to take a second here to appreciate what Eco actually did there. Drops down the front of the base, picks up 1 kill, knows he's got a few seconds to play with as he takes down Snakebite as well. And then retreats without battling that person pink street because he knows he can help across map before that push comes in.
Yeah, there's more important things, exactly just like you said, that he had to focus on. Rockets about to pop here. They'll cross the 80-point mark and also only 30 seconds on the board as well.
15 points to go here. Rockets popping. Royal 2 is going to grab him. Maybe this is the way back into things, though. This is the last push that has to be made. And the question is, are they going to be able to chase down Renegade in time? Are the Rockets going to be fired? Frosty's going to help out things because he's going to pick up the kill on that ball carrier. Eco's going to be sneaking behind that corner. It's a difficult angle to hit a Rocket. I kind of like what Royal 2's done there. Backing up, deciding to wait and find a better angle to play with.
All right, 2 dead for C9. About to be 3 dead. Momentarily, last guy is Renegade. He's the first spawner. He's there at PD. He's also back at Tire. So let's go. This is what we came for. Let's see a massive comeback from the side of Sentinels. It would need to be a great display of Halo to win this round. It is now 94-19. They need to hold that ball and not let the clock tick down.
That Pulse Carbine's going to rip through some shields. Here's Royal 2. There's a thrust. Trade comes in. You have to say maybe Royal 2 came out on the good side of this, but here's the flank now coming in from Stellar. 3 dead. He's going to be last alive. Eco's just respawned. Snakebite with the Bulldog now and the oddball in hand. Even though C9 only needs 6 points, at least Sentinels starting to fight their way back into this.
Stellar does so much damage there. Stellar was the last player alive. You cannot let him back of Trey and pick up a kill and also bring your ball carrier to 1 shot. Though, we still have Sentinels scoring on the board here and still 1 dead for the side of Cloud9.
Stellar and Eco combining together on the B stairs. Look at that. Frosty had absolutely no chance to try and get out of that situation. The clock is ticking down here. This is the difficulty here for Sentinels. They have to pick that ball up, even with the big plays that are coming in from Lethal. The oddball is now down. Stellar's going to play bodyguard. That'll be the first round on the board here to C9.
C9 got to that 90-point mark very quickly. In the end, we saw a little bit of pressure coming in from Sentinels, but if we're honest, it really was a C9 round through and through. Here we go now jumping right back in. C9 only 1 round away from 3-0ing Sentinels in their first meeting of the tournament.
Stellar going to be tasked with holding these players down on the arcade side. Penguin picks up 1 mid-map, and that's going to allow him to move in and maybe pick up those rockets as well. Doesn't connect with the first one. Does connect with the second, though, and it's very rare that you don't see the second one connecting if the first does not hit. Frosty, though, turns that one on its head. Stalker Rifle going to be there, and unfortunately for Sentinels, even though the battles are going down in the middle of the map and the rockets weren't as effective as possible, they find themselves still at disadvantage.
Yeah, 4 dead there momentarily. You're going to see all tram spawns, which means Eco is going to be very happy to just hold this back PD, rotate away from A, start to bring that back. Also, when you have your ball carrier with a Bulldog as well, who could just pop in and out of these doorways of PD, such a devastating hold and very tough to break.
Royal 2 trying to flank around the back and manages to get some shots into Eco. Eco surviving for now. Now he's going to try and push out towards Tyres, and this is probably the most effective place to hold that Bulldog when you have those players all trying to converge to different cuts of the map, but he gets taken down. So Sentinel's starting to maybe find a little bit of teamwork here, starting to work together a little bit better. As I say that though, unfortunately, who else but Stella to move in, but Frosty says, this series ain't over yet, boys. Maybe Frosty's going to be the person to spark Sentinels into life.
Let's not forget Sentinels here with the opportunity to send this series the distance. This team is, of course, talented enough to win this round, maybe win this game, and get us into a different series. However, Cloud9 wants to do whatever they can. Look at that nice little wall hug peek shot from Eco. The help comes in as well. And if they keep this up, they will win this series in 3 games.
We just talk about how much trust there is in Cloud9 as well. Eco's probably been told to stand still. Do not poke. I've got this guy. Do not give your life away. And he trusted that call, and look what happened. It was almost perfect. Royal 2 is going to lose a fight as well. I tell you what, C9 at the moment are rolling. It's very difficult to see anybody challenging them if they're playing this well.
Winning 1v1 battles, oftentimes that you might not expect them to win, especially against a team like Sentinels. A little bit of time coming on the board for them.
It's Royal 2. He's just won that battle again. That didn't happen. Eco has the rockets in his hand now. Snakebite has the ball in his hands though, and Sentinels are picking up a little bit of time. They're trying to rotate towards Arcade, but that's not going to happen for now due to the fact that Eco is there and being a little bit of a menace behind enemy lines. Stella's going to go down though. 2 players going to be pushing towards driveway from Tram, and now, I tell you what, Eco's going to pick the ball up and say, you're going to have to work harder to come and get me.
Just going to toss a few nades down driveway, bring the ball into B. In the end, though, Sentinels answers back very well. They do get 2 dead for the side of C9. We'll have to see what they can do here. Still just a 16-point game.
Trades across the board. 3v3 on the map now. Royal 2 trying to get into a position to maybe pick up the kill onto Renegade, who maybe get a little bit desperate there. There's a double kill for Royal 2. Eco's going to be up there, maybe a triple opportunity, but it's now the push is coming in. You can hear the call that has come. We're going to kill this last guy. We're going to push into Tram, and this is where our hole's going to be. A killing spree now for Royal 2.
Eco does well to pick up 1 kill before it's over, which is just going to give a little bit better numbers there. Penguin doing some damage before he hops into Tires, and gonna need some kills here if they want more points.
Yeah, I mean, it's too easy for Renegade to just walk down middle map there and cause a problem. It's as simple as that. However, Royal 2 is going to be here with the Bulldog, and he's going to be able to hold. There should be a double kill, but no! There's Renegade, and there is a little tap on the cheek saying, better luck next time, son.
Let him know about that, without a doubt, and not surprised to see these players exchanging some antics across the sides of the stage here, and C9 pretty happy with not just that victory in that battle, but also how the series has gone so far. They will continue scoring here, 36-17.
36-17, like you say, and rising here. Cloud9 have that ball in their hands, and Stella has a Stalker Rifle in his hands as well. Snakebite going to be challenging.
Jeez.
You should know better by now. Anyone on C9 ain't going to be missing too many shots. Lethal with the ball in his hands. 3 fall for C9. Opportunity here for Sentinels. We need to see them pick up that last kill. But no, look who gets a kill. Renegade, and now Lethal goes down. You have to kill them all, boys. Otherwise, they're going to bite you in the backside.
So difficult. It's absolutely true. C9 is the team. Oh, wow. That was wild little melee there, and it's going to be the Commando in the end that wins that one. Penguin's going to have 2 rockets here in the back pocket. Just stay alive around Tires as long as he can. Avoids the spikers narrowly somehow. We'll have to wait for those shields to recharge. So this game's still close. Once again, keep in mind, only a 12-point game.
It certainly is. The Sentinels are starting to find a bit of a rhythm here. It's something I certainly noticed. They're starting to maybe work out where those pushes are coming in. Stella picks up a kill onto Lethal, though. 42-36 to score. So pretty much all tied up here. You would say C9 do have a slight advantage, and maybe the push that's going to come in, the Rockets maybe not as efficient as they could be, and there's a Stalker Rifle from Royal 2 who manages to win a big fight there. Royal 2, I'm pretty sure, was no shields in that, had to hit every single bullet, and did so.
Yeah, very nice. Snakebite just going to try to stay alive. He even goes for the 180 stick. That will not connect, though, so they'll need a few more kills before they can get this back into Tram.
Responsibility here for Royal 2 with that Stalker Rifle, has to hit those shots. Instead, it's going to be Cloud9 who have the ball in the hands. There's also going to be a player. That's going to be Penguin, who's going to be using that battle rifle to finish off the damage that was done by that Sentinel beam. And with that, it's going to be Cloud9 who start to extend that lead ever so slightly more. Sentinels look good for a while there, but C9 have had enough of that.
They did, and it led by the efforts of Royal 2. I mean, look at his numbers right now. The man is 13-7-7. He's the best performance in the game so far. We'll have to see if they can keep this one close. But as you say, C9 starting to run away with it.
Stella manages to thrust past that spike grenade, and Frosty is probably thinking, hey, how is Stella challenging me full shields? I've just thrown a spike grenade. Those things absolutely shred through shields, but it was a thrust once more. Speaking of which, there's another thrust, and there's some perfect shots from Stella.
That is a beautiful engagement there. Stellar just leaving no chance. Just absolutely perfect timing there as he flies into tires and not even getting himself once again within melee range. That's such a big piece that we'll talk about throughout the entire tournament. 10 points to go.
Royal 2 trying to push. Stella says, I'm nothing short of perfect. Lethal.
My God.
My goodness. My goodness.
I
mean, it's perfect. It's perfect, Taylor.
It is. Look, everyone knows that the game is about to end. Renegade, the clock is going to tick down, and there you go. Here it is.
Here it is then. C9 answer a lot of questions. And the only thing we can really take away from that series is they are the team to beat without a doubt. 3-0 the series score here. C9 win. Sentinels really were not a match for them.
They were not. We'll have to see what Sentinels has in store for us. I don't think we learned really much about them at all. Like you said, we really learned that C9 is just picking up where they left off, not only in the weeks of online play, but also with their Raleigh dominance on LAN as well. Did hear that there was a piece of legislation to rename the Stalker rifle to the Stellar rifle. And after seeing that, I'm in support of it.
Yeah, that's going to get pushed through Congress pretty quickly.
It is.
Is that right? I
think so.
I'm from the UK, so
that sounds about right. Pushed through Parliament. I'm not sure actually which nation is the legislation is existing in. But regardless, we know that globally, C9 right now is the team to beat, without a doubt.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, it was a devastating performance. I think one thing that going into that series that we mentioned right before it started, right? It's like, Sentinel's going to be the team who can take them down. Maybe this series is going to go all the way. We're going to learn a lot about this, or C9 are going to sweep it away. That's what we saw, right? That's what we saw. It was C9 dominance from the first bullet that was fired, and I got to give a shout out to Stella once again. I'm going to keep doing it because no one else is doing it. C9, I think we've got the best player in the game right now in Stella. He is making no mistakes, and the end of that game as well was the perfect example of it.
Absolutely. When players are trying to push through a PD, when they're trying to push through a courtyard, he just hits perfect shots with the Stalker rifle every time. Unbelievable. Also, a lot of players are comfortable playing the Stalker rifle from C-Balk. They're comfortable playing it from A. This man will fly straight into tires, and he will win close quarters battles with the Stalker rifle, and he showed a perfect display of that just now. So excited to see what C9 still has in store for the rest of the tournament, but right now looking so hot.
Yeah, they are certainly looking good indeed. One thing to take away from that, though, is remember this is pool play, right? This is pool play, and it is completely different. We take ourselves back to Raleigh, right? Sentinels, who were obviously playing with Formal, then they lost to Optic Gaming. And then we were like, it's over. But when it matters, there's a different Sentinels that comes out. And they would have taken a lot of information away from that series. Something, again, to allude back to what Golden Boy was saying on the desk before. They will be making notes. They will be going back and watching the VOD Sentinels playing against Cloud9. And trust me, the next time those two teams match up, which I'm sure they will at some point in the bracket, I would expect a much closer series.
Me too. I think we're going to see a different matchup if and when these two teams match up this weekend for sure.
And it's going to be certainly interesting for sure. But for now, we've actually got Eco down on the stage, ready for an interview with our guy Blaze. So Blaze, take it away.
Thank you very much, Onset and Bravo. I'm on the main stage with Eco, and man, you and the boys are absolutely on Cloud9, coming off another 3-0 victory. How you feeling being back on LAN with the team?
I mean, being back on LAN is amazing. You know, this is where we think we're better on LAN. So you know, we try really hard. It's really fun. It's competitive, and yeah, we're just glad to be back on LAN. 100% for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And so let's talk about the Sentinel in the room, because when it comes down to it, you guys won Raleigh, won every online competition after that. We hyped up this series so much, and yet it was proven once again that nobody can keep up with you guys and play at the pace in which y'all play at. What do they got to do? Don't give up the secrets, but why isn't it that they can't take you guys down?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the answer to that. I mean, like I said, I love my teammates. We trust each other a lot. So I mean, I think that we have that over a lot of teams, and we just play the way we play. So I mean, it's hard to describe, but yeah.
Yeah. It feels good though, okay?
Yeah,
it feels good.
Yeah.
You guys going around the map, the kills are falling into place. And so tell me about, what do your teammates do for you to help you succeed out there?
I mean, my teammates do everything for me to succeed, I guess. I mean, you got Renegade just flying around the map, Stellar also doing something on the other side of the map, and then me and Zane are supporting, looking over people, and I mean, we have really good communication, and I think that's gotten better the longer we played together. So I mean, it's great, yeah.
Yeah, hey, the comms were clean all series long, okay? Yeah. And so keep that up and keep the gameplay clean as well. You guys are going far, and we'll see who can contest you guys as we can move on through this tournament. It was great talking to you, man.
You too.
Lottie, we got a lot of info here from Eco, okay? And you and the guys got to break down this Cloud9 series, because we're trying to figure out, what do we got to do to stop these boys?
Very, very true, Blaze. And you said they're going far. Well, I got to say, I think they're like 3,000 miles ahead right now. I think Cloud9, and, you know, just what they proved there. I mean, yeah, I look like an idiot because I was hyping up some crazy match that was about to happen. Slightly underwhelming in terms of the scoreline and kind of getting to that Game 5 situation, but I think overwhelming in terms of what we've learned a little bit more about Cloud9. I think there's a couple of different things we can discuss here that are really fundamental to this team and their success. And first of all, they're a step ahead of every single team that they come up against. It's consistently them thinking ahead. The support from the team, like Eco said, you know, he's always their back, you know, playing support, but that support is crucial. The assists that come in, you know, you can see Cloud9, they get into one-shot situations quite often, but they play their lives so well. So the strategy and the way that these guys play around every single map is just lights out, and no one really can touch them, Clutch.
Yeah, it's pretty unreal, honestly. Every time we switch to another player point of view on Cloud9, it's just another impressive play being made consistently. I'm sick and tired of the Lucids, the Frosties, the top 3 conversations. The 4 best players in the world right now are on this team. And until taken down, I'm not going to have a conversation around anything else, because no more underrated Stellars, no more underrated Penguins. These guys are honestly unbelievable to watch. When it's Eco, it's unbelievable gameplay. He's staying alive in situations he shouldn't stay alive, and the decision making is perfect with a punctuation after the T. Stellar didn't miss a shot every single time it was on his point of view. You already know what Renegade and Penguin are doing. You saw a little bit of glimpse from that on the Aquarius game, but it's just like, I mean, I'm in awe watching these guys play, and that's a testament to how skillful they truly are.
Well, I mean, look at the was it the Recharge Slayer, right? I thought that was very interesting because it kind of felt like C9 where, you know, it was like not a foregone conclusion, but they were very, very far ahead. They were up, I think, 41 or so to like 29 on the Sentinel side. And then Sentinel started to come up because then you started to see, like, you know, them clicking and them finding their rhythm. It was a little too late. But that goes to show you, like, how scary the Sentinels team can be when things are going well for them. But then on the flip side to that, you look at C9 and it's like, oh, man, but you're never really going to get those opportunities. And when you do, it's going to get taken from you so fast.
Yeah, I think, you know, Cloud9 have a really good strategy, and I think they're so smart as well as skilled. And you know, they're splitting teams open. You know, they are only having to really go up against 2 players at a time, and the way that they're controlling their oppositions around the map is testament to how good these guys are. First of all, they're not losing their 1v1s, they're not losing their battles, or should I say 2v2s, because the way that they're splitting up these teams is pretty damn incredible. But Walsh, it's also the pace they're playing at. They're so fast but clinical. That is such a dangerous combination to play against, and it's really hard to find your rhythm as a team when Cloud9 is just dictating everything for you.
Yeah, it feels like many other teams and players are like forcing action when they have an advantage, whereas it feels like Cloud9 has this uncanny ability to force action whenever they want. So it's just really interesting. Like, I remember watching this one play earlier on Aquarius where Lethal was up at top pink. Or no, Lethal was at bottom pink. Renegade's at top pink. Lethal's just throwing nades, you know, just at a typical spot in case someone just runs, you know, rounds the corner and to get hit by that. But Renegade just slides all the way down to bottom pink, gets right in his face, goes for a melee, and then just finishes off with a shot. And it's like, what do you do around that? Like, you're doing what you expect someone to do. You throw a grenade, like, you're both at full shields. You expect to fight like that. And Renegade just takes, like, a slip and slide all the way down. And it's just a different pace and style of play. Like, they know when the opposing team are going to throw a grenade, and they can thrust away from that and avoid that. They know when to, like, run out and challenge, and they also know how they can do it and be unexpected.
Yeah, they're so proactive, I think, is the word that I'm looking for in their gameplay, right? They're not reactive. They're not sitting there waiting for someone to turn the corner. They're the player turning the corner. They're the player that's in your face, that's making the decision, that's dictating, like, how the combat loop is about to go. I think a big story as well is they're used to the sandbox, right? Every single time we see a highlight reel, it's thrusts, it's shotguns, it's the heat wave, it's the stalker rifle. When they get those weapons, they don't miss already, so they already have the individual skill to where they're not missing, but they also have the power upgrades in these weapons paired with it, and it looks like a dominant performance because of it. I think if you want to try to beat these guys, I mean, first of all, good luck. But second of all, you have to figure out a way to stop them from getting those weapons, because once they have them, it's already over.
Yeah, I think also trust plays a big role. I think the casters put it really well, that they trust each other. You know, the communication, it has to be on point all the time because they really are a step ahead. When you look at their gameplay, it just feels like they know exactly where people are going to be at what time and then what they have to do next. I think a lot of the times we've discussed on the desk, like, okay, well, they, you know, a team has a drip cap, but they don't know what to do with it. Cloud9 do. Cloud9 know what to do with everything.
Well, look no further than that ball game, right? That first round, they had Sentinels had the ball on PD's side of the map for like 3 years, and they never grabbed it. They couldn't do anything with it because they needed all 4 guns to handle the aggression of Cloud9. So you have control of the oddball. It's on your side of the map. But at no point in time were they able to sacrifice a body to hold that ball so that they could start accruing some points. That right there is a Cloud9 difference. That's the Cloud9 factor, and that's the reason why I would not be shocked. In fact, you know, it's not a bold prediction. They're going to win this event.
They are the aggressor. That is exactly what they're. They're never on the defense. It's always on the offense. They are the aggressor right here. My goodness, did they come out to play today and prove a point. But we could go on for hours about this. We could break this down. So I think we're going to have to break it down a little bit more later on because we'll see more Cloud9. Don't worry about that, people at home. Let's look at the pools, though, and see exactly where we have ended up. As you can see, Cloud9, 3-0. Not dropping anything. That is the classic C9 fashion. They don't like to have a, you know, a score that's kind of messed up. They like to have that donut right on the end of things there. But beautiful stuff from Cloud9 across the board. But next, we do actually see some action from United versus Pioneers, and that's going to be in Pool D. And Golden Boy, you said earlier on,
I tweeted it and corrected it.
Walshy caught you
Continue,
out on
Lottie,
your
before
BS.
I interrupted you.
Yes. Tell us how wrong GB was.
Yeah, GB, Barney is not right today, hun. In many different ways.
Wait a minute. I understand what you're saying, and I jumped the gun a little too quickly there. But
shocker.
I will be I won't be shocked if Pioneers win that game. Pioneers are playing some exquisite Halo right now. They look fantastic. They were looking fantastic coming out of Raleigh. I've been big on this team, you know, through and through. I tweeted Pioneers to the moon. I believe it.
Oh, wow.
And but that being said, you know, I mean, you're still going up against United, and there's a lot of things that Pioneers will have to worry about. But this is the match that they've been preparing for in this group, and I think that they're going to be prepared for the challenge.
I think it's safe to say you're a pioneer for Pioneers.
Well, I love the United. Don't get me wrong. You know, my boy Burns is over there, right? We got Jen as well. Like, I love the United guys, but, you know, it's a whole team as well. But it's just like, I'm always a sucker for the up-and-coming squads that are looking to make their names into space. And Dave, what the heck are you going to say?
I just don't know how you doubled down on that. You're like, I think the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl. And like, they're not even in it. You're like, I'm doubling my bet on them
next year.
Well, you will never hear me say the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl, all right? New York Giants, Jet Giants Super Bowl, calling it right now.
All right, there we go. He's called it
just
like he
throwing more
called
ridiculous stuff out
Pioneers
there.
beating United before the match had happened, maybe 5 hours later. But I tell you what, folks, it will be coming up right after this break. I'm really excited to get into that one. So make sure you stay with us. It's going to be our final series of the night on that main stage before we head into tomorrow. You don't want to miss this action, and especially don't want to miss a potential Spartan pop-off. We'll catch you right after this.